Hello and welcome to another episode of Pop Culture Acts. And this time we are doing something that we both already know. We are going for some classic God tier with the master David Bowie and the song that probably doesn't get as much love as it should. Moonage Daydream.
Now, is this the name of the documentary that's. Oh,
This is
yeah.
yes, the new documentary. So this is
Netflix? Amazon? I can't remember which one it was on.
it's on Netflix.
Okay.
And
Yeah, because like when you watch a lot of trailers and you know it exists on one of them, you go, oh, God,
yeah.
I can't remember which service it's on, yeah.
So yeah, the other half picked this because we were watching it and went, "You need to do that," and I was like, "Well, yes, we shall," because sometimes you have to know where your bread is buttered.
Look, if our better halves say you do it and it doesn't involve any physical labour or effort, you do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is her a toss up of her favorite Bowie songs. It's either this or Magic Dance from Labyrinth.
Well, and funny enough, we were just saying beforehand, before we started recording, what's our favourite Bowie album, and like we mentioned some of the bigger Bowie albums, and I did sneak in there or the Labyrinth soundtrack because, I mean, it's amazing, and of
It
course,
is.
it's wrapped up in the Jim Henson esque magic, or Jim Henson magic, so to say, rather than esque, of what's going on around it, but I've never known a soundtrack for a movie be as brilliant as that, considering what it's being sung about.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I'm a huge David Bowie fan. I think, to be honest, I think my knowledge of him started with Labyrinth. I think that was my first experience of him, my first experience of his music. I like that. There's half a chance maybe in the house my dad might have listened to the odd bit here and there, but I don't
Mm.
think too much. I don't remember Bowie being massive on his list, but that kind of sparked that intrigue in me, and that led to me going out and finding other stuff. And yeah, and then the love affair with David Bowie's music started for me.
So yeah, I had again, thanks to my dad, is a massive Bowie fan, so had it all the time when growing up. But Labyrinth was, with it, Labyrinth was my Bowie. All the like Ziggy and all that sort of stuff, and like the early
Yeah,
albums. That was Dad's. I Goblin King is my Bowie. That's what he is. And then it was like, oh, and then because getting into metal, and then when he started doing stuff with uh, Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails and the Pet Shop Boy stuff, where he got sort of dirty industrial in the '90s, was like, oh, definitely my Bowie more than what my dad was listening to. But it's the thing, he runs the gamut of
yeah.
generations, eras, and musical tastes. Yeah, he is. There are very few pure artists that can do that.
He felt to me like he reinvented himself because he wanted to, or like
Yeah,
because he was naturally reinventing himself, not as a gimmick to keep himself fresh in an audience. I think every time he transitioned over the years into um, different styles, and
it was
like I
because he
guess
wanted
in
to.
yeah, because that's where he was in his life, or like you said, like when he starts performing with sort of like Trent, that because he kind of goes, I like his stuff and I want to do stuff with him, rather than like some scurrilous manager behind saying, your record sales are slipping. Let's get you in with like a fresh faced person. It always felt like he did what he wanted to do, and to a large part, I think for most of his career, like everyone has a few bloopers out there, or people will have their favorite songs or their least favorite songs for him. But
Yeah,
that It was always done with a desire to create something special and with love. A special recording artist, I think.
Yeah, there's very few people that have that same level. I would put Prince up there because Prince is another one that
Yeah,
always was sort of being creative and doing things that he wanted to do. So yeah,
had a
very
slightly a rockier patch, I'd say, Prince, and I love Prince, but I'd say his low was
lower.
quite a low when he hit it.
So shall we get on a Moonage Daydream?
Let's as I say, something nice for us. But hopefully, if anyone's watching this who doesn't know this, I hope you enjoy it as much as we do. And I feel like we should go somewhat radio, radio DJ, wedding DJ here, and dedicate this to Mr. Lacey's love of his life, Sarah. This one's for you.
I'm a mama, papa calling for you. I'm the spacing man. I'll be a rock and rollin' bitch for you. Keep your mouth shut. You're squawking like a big baby, and I'm busting up my brain for the world. Keep your electric eye on me, babe. Put your right gun to my head. Press your space close to my love. Freak out in the Moonage stage for you, oh yeah. Don't fake it, baby. Lay the real thing on me. You know the church of man love. Such a holy place to be. Don't think it, baby. Make me know you really care. Make me jump into the air. If you dare. Keep your electric eye on me, baby. Put your ring onto my head. Press your space close to my love. Breathe out in the Moonage stage. Oh yeah. Keep your electric eye on me, babe. Put your ring onto my head. Press your space close to my love. Freak out in the Moonage daydream. Oh yeah. Keep your electric eye on me, babe. Put your ray gun to my head. Press your space close to my love. I breathe out in the Moonage daydream. Oh yeah. Breathe out. Far out. In out.
when I thought that solo couldn't be made even better. Oh,
It was, wasn't it? It was fantastic, and I think to a large degree, one of the big highlights is we said it beforehand about our love of David Bowie, and it's so easy to get fixated on Bowie himself because Bowie is so charismatic and
yeah,
enigmatic in his performance style, especially this, which again probably worth contextually saying like a track for the Ziggy Stardust album, which is a concept album about the world ending in Ziggy Stardust having to come down and save us and things like that. So you've kind of got all that, but actually, with all that pomp and circumstance and grandeur that comes with those as concepts, this has such huge breathing space for the music.
yeah,
The music is probably the star of the show, isn't it? And that's not to knock Bowie's singing or lyrics. I think there's some great stuff in there as well. But yeah, I think, and when I say the music still to show, I think specifically the guitar solo
yeah.
is wow.
It yeah, it's one of those of obviously the on the record version there is still the solo and stuff, but it obviously isn't as long and is not as energetic and frantic as
Yeah,
it is there. Um, it just makes me wish I'd have seen him live, or at least even had the chance
yeah,
to,
yep,
because
same.
it's one of those of you look at Bowie, he's not your conventional pretty boy pop star. He's a little bit weird looking, but he just is that mannerism and stage presence and
Yeah,
as you said, charisma that comes off him
yeah.
that you see on these. So I'm going to imagine this is sort of mid 70s. It's probably from the Ziggy
Yeah. I was gonna
tour.
say, I presume his performance is probably like around sort of 73, 74, or maybe a little bit earlier. But yeah, I'd say around that area.
But yeah, it's you can see how and why he was as big as he was, and why he was as loved as he was.
Yeah, builds like a following, and I think he has something that really assists him is by producing great music, but also, as we said, that charisma, but almost being able to foster a cult like status without having to do a lot. And you
Yeah,
don't often see those two things mixed so well. Often people will be sold off of a look or their personality, maybe to cover up for a distinct lack of musical ability or vice versa.
yeah.
And he's a total package performer for me.
But yeah, as I said, that's I'm hoping because this from the Netflix film slash I don't know if it's a Netflix funded thing, but I know it's on Netflix at the minute.
Yeah, I
That
don't know if it's an exclusive or what,
but I'm hoping that there is because they've found this footage to do this video for this, that this whole show was recorded and somewhere there is an audio of it because I want to listen to that show because if that's what they're doing in Moonage, what are they doing with the rest of it?
I would, yeah, I would hope so. Um, I think I don't know. It's hard to say, isn't it? But I would have thought as well, though, an artist that probably in his house studio, etc., etc. I feel like he probably took good care of his recordings
Yeah,
and probably put a lot of time and effort, or certainly maybe got others if he needed sound technicians to put time and effort into um, treating them in the best way that they can, so that
yeah,
that they'll last forever. I guess so. Yeah, it'd be lovely um, hear more. And as I say, I'll never complain about hearing more David Bowie. I think uh, there's just amazing songs out there, and as I say, there's a couple of ones that I'm not so big on, but you just kind of go, yeah, get over yourself. Like, you've got albums and albums and albums of stuff you do like. So if there's one or two tracks you don't like, tough. Listen
Yeah.
to them once and get through that. The only thing I wanted to pick up on this specifically outside, because I knew we'd talk about the guitar, and I do like all how that guitar. I don't know why I find the drums as fascinating for me in this as well, and I think you get the drum roll when he's kind of delivering into the line with the Moonage Dream, and when I think of the song, I am as likely to, in my head, do that drum roll and then the line as I am to
Yeah.
think about the solo at the end. It's become a iconically linked the lyrics and the drum fill. Yeah, fantastic. Really great. By the way,
Yes.
the film I've had a look. The film produced by HBO. So
Aha.
yeah.
So, what did you think of that performance of Moonage Daydream? I know that it was Guardians 1, I think it was on. It was on the Guardians 1
Yeah,
soundtrack.
yeah, it's Guardians one.
So
Yeah,
did get a little bit of some love there, and probably into more people's ears
yes,
than know it
and
because of that.
all how things like that. You know, we often talk, don't we, about oh, it sounds like it being a soundtrack for this. And I know some people get like don't like that. I love soundtracks. I love scores, but I love soundtracks. And often I think the kind of the modern take on things is now to take a song, play with it, like slow it down. Seems to be a very
Yeah,
big thing in Marvel trailers, for example, these
yeah,
days. But one of the beautifully genius things that I think Guardians did so well is taking so many tracks of an era, because you know that was part of the point of it, but them feeling right in that movie and not just cash cows of, oh yeah, people will come along to this one. And I certainly know like my
it's similar
nieces
to like how Tarantino did it with
yeah,
like Reservoir Dogs and things like
yeah.
that as well.
Well, I know it introduced a load of songs to my nieces that they possibly like wouldn't have ever heard. And when they're great songs like this, then all how those sort of things being done, but done with care and done in the right movies.
Yes. So if you are here because of the Guardians link, we've also got a version of Hooked on a Feeling done by the Hoff.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And also, if you're here because of Marvel movies, Guardians, we also do a comic book show where we talk about comic books, and every now and again we do dip into some of the movie and Marvel releases, don't we?
Yeah.
Rarely DC, but you know it's not totally off the table. But join us elsewhere on the channel for that.
So as always, comments down there. Let us know what you think. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. Suggestions down there as well. And until next time.
Yeah, I was gonna say sorry. I know you're trying to do an outro. God, I'm getting really rude with this now. Look, you just heard how much we love David Bowie, and one of the things that we've always said on this channel is about listening to lots and very varied music. And I think maybe taking a few trips down with artists like David Bowie, I think would lead us to more varied recommendations. So it doesn't have to be a Bowie song, although I'll quite happily do more Bowie. But if you're a big David Bowie fan and you've come across for this, what else do you listen to? What else can we get in our ear holes and that we can react to?
Yes, those hidden gems that we may have heard as kids or randomly on radios and haven't
Yeah,
heard in
yeah,
years.
yeah.
Because like when we did Terence Trent Derby over
Oh,
Christmas, it was one of those of just stuff that we haven't heard in years. It doesn't have to be new to us. It can be stuff that
and probably enjoyed more coming back to it than I thought I would, because sometimes there's a bit of a fear factor, isn't there, of going, I like this at a certain time in my life, but will it hold up now? And it's really nice when they do. So
yes.
yeah, some more of that, please.
So until next time, Goodbye.